In this lecture, we'll see the condition for an LTI system to be stable, and also the condition for a system to be both stable and causal, and we are doing the analysis by making use of Z transform. Okay, so the first we'll see when can we say an LTI system is stable. Now, an LTI system is stable if the impulse response h of n is absolutely summable, that is summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity modulus of h of n is less than infinity. So this implies that the discrete time Fourier transform exists, and as a result the ROC includes the unit circle in the Z plane. So thus an LTI system is stable if and only if the ROC of the system function h of Z includes the unit circle. Now we will see the condition for a causal system to be stable. A causal system, consider we have a causal LTI system with a rational system function h of Z. Since the system is causal, the ROC is outside the outermost pole, and for this system to be stable, that is for the ROC to include the unit circle, the outermost pole of h of Z must be inside the unit circle. That is, the largest magnitude of the poles of h of Z must be less than 1. That is, a causal system with a system function h of Z is stable if and only if all the poles of h of Z lie inside the unit circle. Now that is a condition for a system to be both causal and stable. So we'll consider certain questions for checking the causality and stability of LTI system. Now first question, check whether the corresponding LTI system with system function h of Z given is stable and causal if the ROC is mod Z greater than 2, mod Z less than 0.8, 0.8 less than mod Z less than 2. Okay, so in this question we are given a rational system function h of Z, and three different ROCs are given related to this h of Z, and for the three ROC we are asked to check whether the system is stable and causal. Okay, now first we will consider h of Z, and this h of Z, numerator and denominator on multiplication with Z square we get in this form. Now from the numerator we can take an Z outside, and see, when in order to obtain the partial fraction expansion, this h of Z first we have to express in proper function form. Now this is an improper fraction because the numerator and denominator, they both are of the same degree. So here we have already taken an Z outside the numerator. This Z is taken to the denominator. So we have h of Z by Z equal to this term, that is minus of Z plus 0.4 divided by Z minus 0.8 into Z minus 2. So if you consider this fraction in the right side, the order of the numerator polynomial is 1 and order of denominator polynomial is 2. Now this is a proper fraction. So this entire term in the right can be expanded using partial fraction form, and on expansion we get this expression, that is h of Z by Z equal to 1 divided by Z minus 0.8 minus 2 divided by Z minus 2. Therefore h of Z is equal to Z by Z minus 0.8 minus 2Z divided by Z minus 2. Now we can understand the poles of this given system, they are located at Z equal to 0.8 and Z equal to 2. Okay, now we will consider the different ROCs given. In the first case, ROC given is mod Z greater than 2. Okay, that is here the outermost pole is located at Z is equal to 2, and ROC is the region outside the outermost pole. Therefore we can say the given LTI system is causal, and since the ROC it does not include the unit circle, the corresponding system is unstable. Okay, therefore this can also be verified from the impulse response. Now h of Z we have obtained in this form. Taking Z outside the numerator and denominator, we can express h of Z in this form. And why we are expressing in this form is, now this is each of the terms, that is here we have two different terms, and these two terms are standard Z transform of time functions. So we can directly take the inverse. When we take inverse of this h of z, we get h of n, and h of n is 0.8 raised to n into u of n minus 2 raised to n into u of n. Okay. Also, h of n is 0 for n less than 0, and summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity, h of n is equal to infinity. That is, the impulse response is not absolutely summable. Therefore, the given system is causal and unstable. Now we will consider the next case, that is for the given system, ROC is mod z less than 0.8. That is, we can see the ROC is lying inside the innermost pole. Therefore, the given system is anti-causal. Also, since mod z is less than 0.8, the ROC doesn't include the unit circle, and hence the corresponding system is unstable. Also, this can be verified using the impulse response. And h of z we have obtained by partial fraction expansion in this form, and on expressing in proper standard form we have this h of z. And by considering the given ROC, we can take the inverse, and we know since ROC is inside the innermost pole, the given system is anti-causal. Therefore, the inverse of this h of z, both the sequences are to be left-sided. That is, h of n is, on taking inverse, h of n is minus 0.8 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1 plus 2 into 2 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1. Okay, and if you observe, see, this system h of n is 0 for n greater than 0, and summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity, h of n is infinity. That is, impulse response is not absolutely summable. Therefore, the given system is anti-causal and unstable. Okay. Now we will consider the third case. Here, the ROC is the region lying between 0.8, that is 0.8 and 2, that is mod 8, 0.8 less than mod z less than 2. Okay. So it is a ring in the z plane, and therefore the corresponding LTI system is non-causal. Okay. Also, in the unit circle is included in the ROC. Therefore, we can say the corresponding system is stable. Now, h of z we have obtained and we have expressed in this standard form. Now, by considering the ROC, when we take the inverse z transform, corresponding to the first term, we get a right-sided sequence, and corresponding to the second, we get a left-sided sequence. Therefore, h of n is 0.8 raised to n into u of n plus 2 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1. Okay. So, h of n is two-sided, and also summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity, h of n is less than infinity. See, it is very clear. 0.8 raised to n into un, this sequence is existing from n equal to 0 to infinity. Since the terms are 0.8 raised to n, as the n value increases, the value of the term 0.8 raised to n decreases. Therefore, this converges. Also, if we consider the second term, 2 raised to n, u of minus n minus 1, and that is, the second term is existing for n less than 0, that is for n value negative, and when n value is negative, 2 raised to n is also becoming smaller and smaller as n value decreases. Therefore, the second term also converges. Therefore, the entire summation, we can say, impulse response is absolutely summable and the given system is stable. Next question, an LTI system is characterized by the system function h of z equal to 3 minus 4z inverse divided by 1 minus 3.5 z inverse plus 1.5 z raised to minus 2. Specify the ROC of h of z and determine h of n for the following condition. The system is causal and unstable, non-causal and stable, anti-causal and stable. Okay. Now the first case, h of z multiply throughout with z square, numerator and denominator, and we can take z outside the numerator, and that z is taken to the left side. So h of z by z is 3z minus 4 by z square minus 3.5 5z plus 1.5, and the term in the denominator can be factorized as z minus 0.5 into z minus 3. Therefore, we know the given system is having poles which are located at z is equal to 0.5 and z is equal to 3. Okay. Now, this term in the right side can be expanded using partial fraction expansion, and we get in this form. And when we take z to the right side, we have h of z equal to z divided by z minus 0.5 plus 2z divided by z minus 3. Okay, again take z outside from numerator and denominator. We can express in this form: 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 z inverse and plus 2 divided by 1 minus 3 z inverse. Okay, now the poles, as I have already said, they are located at z equal to 0.5 and z equal to 3. Okay, now for this system to be causal and unstable, the condition. Now for the system to be causal, the ROC of h of z must be the region outside the outermost pole, and for the system to be unstable, ROC must not include the unit circle. Therefore, ROC is the region mod z greater than 3, and this satisfies both the cases, that is, the system is causal and unstable. Okay, since all the poles are okay. Now h of z is this expression with condition ROC mod z greater than 3. On taking inverse, we get h of n as 0.5 raised to n into un plus 2 into 3 raised to n into un. That is, both the sequences are right-sided sequences. Okay. Now the second case is for the system to be non-causal and stable. Non-causal means for the system to be stable, ROC must include the unit circle, and non-causal, it must be a two-sided sequence. Therefore, ROC is a ring, that is 0.5 less than mod z less than 3, and therefore when we consider the first term, the pole is at 0.5. For the first term, the pole is located at z equal to 0.5 and ROC is 0.5 less than mod z less than 3. Therefore, for this term, the inverse has to be right-sided sequence, and inverse is 0.5 raised to n into un. Second term has pole at z is equal to 3, and when we consider ROC, mod z is less than 3. Therefore, the corresponding inverse has to be a left-sided or an anti-causal signal. Therefore, the inverse of 2 divided by 1 minus 3 z inverse is taken as minus 2 3 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1. Combining the two terms, h of n is 0.5 raised to n into u of n minus 2 3 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1. Third case is for the system to be anti-causal and unstable. The ROC of h of z is the region in z plane inside the innermost pole, and it must not include the unit circle. Therefore, ROC is the region mod z less than 0.5. That is, when the region is inside the innermost pole, we get an anti-causal signal, and when ROC doesn't include unit circle, the system becomes unstable. So when ROC is mod z less than 0.5, both the conditions are satisfied. Therefore, the system is correspond to an anti-causal or left-sided signal. Okay. Therefore, for the given h of z with ROC mod z less than 0.5, the inverse z transform, on taking inverse z transform, both the terms are left-sided. So the inverse is minus 0.5 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1 corresponding to the first term, and the inverse of the second term is minus 2 into 3 raised to n into u of minus n minus 1. Okay, thank you. So we have seen the different, how to choose ROC and how to find the inverse for the system to be causal, stable, anti-causal, non-causal, and the system stable and unstable. Okay.